The atmosphere is a blanket of gas around the Earth. It's around 700 kilometers thick. We live in the lowest layer, the troposphere. Here in the troposphere, we usually call the atmosphere air. The gas is at its most dense here in the troposphere thanks to gravity. As you go up, it quickly thins out. In fact, 90% of the atmosphere's mass is in the lowest 16 kilometers. This pie chart shows the gases that make up clean, dry air. If you imagine 100 glasses, this could pretty much represent the gases that you have in front of you. 78 of those glasses would consist of a gas called nitrogen, just nitrogen on its own. 21 would only contain oxygen, and the remaining one glass would be made up of argon, plus a little tiny amount of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and small amounts of other noble gases. But the air is not always as clean and dry as you can see in this photo of the center of Abu Dhabi. There is usually some water vapor in it. It may also contain pollutants such as carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide given out by power stations and factories and traffic. Since air is continually on the move, the pollutants get spread around too. Now, most of the gases in air are essential to us. For example, we depend on plants for food, and they depend on carbon dioxide. And without nitrogen to dilute the oxygen, fuels would burn too fast for us. But the gas we depend on most is oxygen, and without it, we would quickly die. We need it for the process called respiration that goes on in all of our cells. Glucose plus oxygen reacts to form carbon dioxide and water. The energy released from respiration keeps us warm and allows us to move, and enables hundreds of metabolic cellular reactions to go on in our bodies. We can use this apparatus to measure the percentage of oxygen in air. Pay attention because you need to be able to come up with this method yourself. A tube of hard glass is connected to two gas syringes, one on the left and one on the right. The tube is packed with small pieces of copper wire, and at the start, the syringe on the left contains 100 centimeters cubed of air. The one on the right is empty. Now heat the tube containing copper using a Bunsen burner and then push in the plunger on the left. This forces the air into the plunger on the right, and when the plunger on the left is empty, push in the plunger on the right to force the air back to the plunger on the left, and you repeat this several times. As the air is pushed back and forth, to and fro, the oxygen in it reacts with the hot copper, turning it black. Stop heating the tube after about 3 minutes and allow everything to cool, then push all of the gas into one syringe and measure its volume. You'll find it's less than 100 centimeters cubed. Repeat all of the earlier steps until the volume of the gas remains steady. This means all the oxygen has been used up. It's now that you note the final volume. If you work out the percentage of oxygen in air, you'll work it out to be 21%. You can pause the video to try and answer these questions. Well, the answer to the most reactive gas in air is oxygen. The name of the black substance that forms is copper 2 oxide. The formula is CuO with the C and O as capitals. To suggest a way to turn it back into copper requires a little more thinking, but if you roast it with carbon, you should be able to find the answer.